Controversy again over the words of another person on television. This time, Samantha Bee, who is a controversial left-leaning talk show host on TBS. She called the president's daughter a, well, take a listen.
Do something about your dad's immigration practices, you feckless. He listens to you. Put on something tight and low cut and tell your father to stop it.
Now, the President of the United States came out and said that Samantha Bee ought to be fired for those words. She has since apologized. And what was interesting is it even got the ire up of Ari Fleischer, who is the former press secretary for President George W. Bush, who said there is a complete double standard. He, of course, was referring to the firing of Roseanne Barr from ABC's hit show. Now, her tweet was over a remark about Valerie Jarrett, the former advisor to President Obama, where she, in a very racist way, compared her to the Planet of the Apes. She got fired within a day of that, and Roseanne Barr has since, according to her tweets, been begging ABC to rehire everyone and not cancel the show. Now, we've got our own controversy right here at Chasey News. Our panelists today, our A-plus panel, Lisa Durden, ran into her own trouble when she had a spat with Tucker Carlson on Fox News and lost her teaching job at Essex Community College. Lisa, good to have you here.
Thank
Bob
you.
Bianchi, also here, former prosecutor and defense attorney. Lisa, let me ask you, when you got fired, you and I had this conversation.
Yes.
We've had you on the show talking about your lawsuit.
Yes.
I don't think you should have been fired.
Thank you.
I don't think
I
ABC
agree.
should have canceled Roseanne and fired all those people. Isn't it possible for people to have a conversation and apologize over, let's say, a poor choice of words or a poor decision?
It is possible. You know, we've had many people that have said very negative things and apologized. Now, in my case, I'm not apologizing because I said nothing negative. I just stood up for the rights of Black Lives Matter to have a private party. The difference is—
But you were defending a Black Lives Matter barbecue
the right to,
that excluded
well, it wasn't
white
a barbecue,
people,
but their right
right?
to have
or
a private party
where
where they
chose
to say they wanted to invite black people to it. Now, Roseanne Barr calling a black woman a monkey, that's racist. And I think that
Bob,
ABC stood up and they did.
I would agree with that.
Rightfully
but now
so.
you've got dozens of people that lost their jobs. And, you know, is there a double standard? Because certainly you've got Jimmy Kimmel, who has mocked the First Lady and what many called a racist attack on her. You've got Joy Behar mocking Christians, calling the vice president, having a mental illness for being Christian. Is there a double standard here?
Yes, she did do that.
I don't think there's a double standard. I want to stick to the facts of this because what typically happens is that we are apples and oranges and then spin off into 15 other kinds of cases. Here's why it's different. Roseanne did this and actually called a woman, a very reputable person, a black person, an ape. There was no social value to that comment. This was nothing other than outright bigotry and racism. The difference here is that she is making a social commentary point about Ivanka Trump and the picture with her baby when illegals
Not
are being
appropriate,
separated,
though,
although
right?
she used a word that was regrettable.
But Lisa, is it possible to lose your temper and say something regrettable that is racist just because you're that mad? I mean, clearly Roseanne Barr has got a history of attacking people who attack President Trump. I think a lot more of this is about politics than race.
Well, that's like the comedian,
Roseanne Barr's husband, Tom Arnold, was on CNN and he said that she's been calling black, ex-husband, she's been calling black people monkeys and apes. So it's just coming out now. There's nothing I could ever think of saying by mistake that's racist. It's not in my language.
ABC has to make a decision as to whether they want somebody who called a black person an ape to be somebody leading one of their shows. And I think they made a wise corporate decision.
All right, got to leave it there. Thank you, guys. Good to see you.